Good morning, everyone. Just woke up. It looks like a cloudy day today. The sun's hiding. Well, I'm still here in the Kaibab National Forest. So let's see what's down this road going deeper into the forest, away from the main road. It's Sunday today, and most people are leaving. I mean, it's early in the morning. I always wonder why people leave so early on Sunday morning when they do a weekend camping trip. I suppose they have a long drive home. I used to try to stay the whole day until the last possible minute to make it home before I had to go to work on Monday. It's also got a lake here, so a lot of these people had kayaks and boats. Lots and lots of off-road trails here, so that's why there's so many off-road vehicles. I just wish they would start making those off-road vehicles silent. I wish they didn't have to be so loud, because boy are they obnoxious. I know some of you out there have them and enjoy them, and that's great. It's, you know, I'm sure it's lots of fun going fast and kicking up clouds of dust all over other campers. That's my little jab. Just so you know why I say that, is when I come out here and do this kind of camping in the woods, there's a reason. I want to be in the woods. I want to hear birds. I want to hear the sounds of nature. I want to see wildlife. And when you have very loud vehicles, you miss out on all that. It scares all the wildlife away, and you don't really get to experience the true nature of where you are. Yeah, it's part of sharing public lands with other people who have other ideas of how to enjoy the wilderness. Some people like it quiet and come out here to get away from the city noise, like me. And then you have people who obviously love the city noise and come out here to make as much more noise as they can. That's what it seems like. But to each his own, right? We all have different ways to live our life. So what do you think? If you were doing this van life, would you take a spot close to the road and deal with the dust and the noise just so that you wouldn't be alone, so you would see other people around? Or would you drive way back here on these roads where there's nothing and no one and try to find a more secluded private spot? Good question. Trying to hide behind the van to sit here because it's so windy and all the traffic going by on the road behind me is blowing all the road dust right into my camp. So there it goes again. I don't know if you can see it, but it's been like this for 2 days. And I'm here another day. I've got sand in my mouth all the time. I didn't pick such a good site. It was nice at first, but then I realized the wind's been coming from the southwest and I'm downwind. I'm on the wrong side of the road. But there's not a lot of trees on the other side of the road, so that's why I'm over here. But yeah, the traffic has been pretty, almost like a freeway, and some people are going about 70 miles an hour on that dirt road, so you win some, you lose some. I'm going to be moving on Monday. Well, the one good thing is maybe it's better that it's so windy, because even though it's blowing the dust on me, it's blowing it away really quick. Daily van life camping chores. Chop wood and carry water. Today we got to Williams, Arizona. We're on Route 66. Hello there. I just got to the Coconino National Forest. I'm just about 25 minutes north of Flagstaff, Arizona. This morning I left, where was I? The Kaibab National Forest. I forget. Yeah, that was not so comfortable of a weekend stay. But this is very nice and peaceful and quiet here. Unfortunately, it's a burnt out forest. So, as you can see behind me, not many trees left. They're kind of blackened, and there's huge areas that are empty of trees. They've all been burnt down or cut down. But anyways, yeah, so I climbed a little higher. I was at 6,500 feet, and I think I'm at 7 or 75, 76, something like that. I'll have to check. I didn't check before I started talking here. But I've got like a little bit of a view. You can see behind me there's some mountains in the distance. And right over there's, you can't see it from where we are. Actually, it's over there. Through the trees, you can barely see it, but there's snow on that peak right there. I can see the snow, but you won't see it on camera. Not a lot of snow, but just a little bit left. On the top of that peak, I'm not sure what it is. Might be Humphrey Peak. I'll have to check that too. Sorry, I just came out here and tried to get this video going before before it got too dark. Yeah, so I have to actually go to a mechanic early in the morning. My first, well, it's not really a breakdown. I started hearing something rubbing when I was on this road, and it seemed like it was coming from the front suspension. So when I got to this site, I stopped and I looked underneath there, and yeah, it looks like a tie rod bushing or that encasing that goes around a tie rod, I think it is, or a tie rod joint. Looked broken, and seems to be oil or grease or something all around the area there. I guess I'm okay to drive it. So I'm about 25 minutes from the mechanic from Flagstaff area, and I called, and they're gonna take a look at it. This is 2 years ago in Santa Rosa, California. I thought I had the whole front end suspension redone and back shocks. It was a $4,000 job. Anyways, after the mechanic looks at it and assesses it, I will let you know exactly what happened. But yeah, and the whole year that I've been making videos for YouTube, this is the first problem I've ever had. So that's not bad. And in 5 years, it's the first time anything has actually happened on the road. The other things were things I just got done, like maintenance things that I knew had to be done. And I got those done when I was staying with a friend in Santa Rosa. So other than oil changes and tire rotations, I haven't had anything I've had to do on this van on the road. This is the first time. And you get to come along and see what it's like. Hey, it'll be an experience that we'll all learn from. Oh, by the way, the weather's gorgeous here. It's about 70 during the day, and it's supposed to be 50 at night. That's what I look for. That was just on the menu for me, I guess. But I'm not sure, depending on what happens with the mechanic tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to come back here or, you know, depending on how long it takes to get the car fixed. I might just move further north. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know, though. So thanks for coming along here, and I'll probably see you tomorrow morning at the mechanics. Wish me luck. Okay, I left the campsite early this morning and I got to the auto shop right there, right when they opened, so I think I'm the first one. And there's the van. Hopefully they'll take a look at it, they said, in the next couple hours. So I'm on foot. I'm gonna go see what's in Flagstaff. Some pretty mountains right there. I just went to this wonderful coffee shop here. Little place right near the mechanic also. It's all organic coffee and the owners are from Mexico. And they made me this wonderful Mexican mocha with cinnamon and cayenne pepper in it. And they're coffee growers, mostly in Chiapas, Mexico. They also grow cacao beans along with the coffee beans, alongside them. So this place also sells cacao, and they give taste testings. They have some salsas in there they make. Great little family-run place called Mayan Winds Coffee Emporium. Hi everybody, I'm here at the Flagstaff Aquaplex. It's a community aqua center. I stopped by the mechanic, and turns out it wasn't my front end alignment or my suspension, it was the power steering fluid pump, which broke and needs to be replaced. So luckily they had the parts and they have the time and they're gonna do it today. I lucked out, I think. Nothing worse than being traveling and can't find a mechanic that can work on something for a week or two. Yeah, could have been much worse. So I'm actually happy. And within walking distance of the mechanic is this beautiful aqua center. And I'm gonna go in and get a day pass, senior day pass hopefully, a little cheaper, and I can swim, work out, get a shower. So let's go take care of that. Got plenty of time. Well, that was nice. I just finished a shower and I took a swim, went in the hot tub. That's one of the nice things about, people asked me in the comments, what do I do about a shower? In this lifestyle, a lot of people ask the question, so how do you take a shower? That's, of course, one of the biggest questions. And this is one of my solutions. A beautiful aquaplex center behind me, aquatic center. In most fairly good-sized towns, there will be usually a community center or an aquatic center. And those are my go-to places. As a senior, I got in for $5. I could spend the whole day in there, and swimming, hot tub, workout room, whatever you want to do. A whole day for $5. When a lot of people join Planet Fitness in America as a way to get their showers, when I first started van life, I did do that the first couple months. And I noticed that the Planet Fitnesses weren't usually where I went, where I was going to camp. I would have to go to the biggest city in the area to find one. And if you've ever been to Planet Fitness, you know they're very popular. So they'd be very, very crowded, and just, you know, I don't like crowded gyms. This here was nice because there was maybe 4 people in there, and they were all my age. So it was very comfortable. So that's my solution to showers on the road. I would have just shown you the inside. It's a brand new building, beautiful, beautiful building, beautiful room where the pool was, but you know, people are in there doing their private thing. I don't want to pull out a camera and start videotaping. So I'm all clean and we're just waiting for the van to be ready. I just stopped at this Mexican restaurant that my mechanic suggested. Got myself a strawberry agua fresca, and they have veggie burritos with potatoes. Still waiting for the van. It's been a few hours. He told me it would probably be late afternoon. So we're just waiting. Luckily, the mechanic is in a very good area with all kinds of stores and restaurants and shops and the aquatic center. So even though I chose that just on a whim, it was the closest mechanic to where I was camped. And it just happened to be in a good spot. So yeah, it's a good day, even though the car's in the shop. This is what van life is like without the van. Okay, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. They just finished the van and it's all ready to go. So I'm headed out to the forest and find another site. I just got to a new campsite tonight after spending the whole day in Flagstaff. Everything went well with the mechanic. They installed the new power steering fluid pump, and it took all morning and half of the afternoon for them to do it. And this is one of the reasons why when you're doing this lifestyle, you have to make sure to have a savings plan of some kind, an emergency savings plan for things like this that can cost quite a bit of money. So yeah, luckily I had that. I was okay there paying for it. It was worth it. Like I said, I think it was really great that I was able to find a good mechanic that was willing to spend the day doing that. I guess they had the time. I was lucky in a big town like Flagstaff. Yeah, I took care of that and went and had lunch at a very nice Mexican bakery that he had suggested, the mechanic. And then he noticed on my tires, they're fairly new, well, maybe half-life left of some BF Goodrich KO2s. And he noticed that the tires were doing something he called cupping. I'd never heard of that before, but they were wearing down on the inside. But I have them rotated all the time, and he said it could be the alignment or the shocks, but I had all that redone. $4,000 worth of front suspension work just 2 years ago. So he suggested I go to Big O and talk to them. So I went over to Big O Tire, and the guy was just tearing my van apart, saying that these tires are crap. You shouldn't buy those BF Goodrich tires. I went online and looked up what is the best tire for off-road van life on dirt roads, and everybody was using KO2s. So I don't know. I don't know if he was just trying to sell me shocks and tires there, because he was also telling me my shocks are crap. And I went to a really, really good, expensive, specialty suspension shop in Santa Rosa, California. Got very good reviews. Can't imagine they would put shocks that don't belong on my van, like the guy at Big O said. So yeah, I was a little suspicious of that. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to do the alignment or change the tires and shocks like he suggested. I'm just going to let these tires wear out till they're done with their life. And at that point, when I need new tires, I'll get some new tires and I'll just get whatever is popular again at that time, like I did with the KO2s. Whatever everyone is saying are the best tires to get. And at that point, I'll have the alignment checked and the shocks and all that. So he told me, oops, stepped in a hole there. He told me that shocks only last 2 years. I'll have to check that with some other resources. But I left the mechanic and everything sounded fine. And I drove, I think I left the mechanics around 2:30, and I drove for maybe 2 hours to all these campsites that were on iOverlander. And it turned out that all the forest that these spots were in had been burnt out, and they had logging companies in there and they were cutting down all the trees. And the place was just, all the roads all through that forest were just all construction. There was nowhere to camp. And one of the roads was actually closed. It had a bunch of good campsites on it, supposedly. So that whole devastation and logging made me think I didn't want to stay here anymore, because it wasn't a very nice place to be. And there was all the noise of the trucks and the workers. So I tried one more spot before I left Flagstaff. This side of the highway, this forest isn't devastated, as you can see in the video here. It's beautiful. It's ponderosa pine forest. And the road was much worse getting in here than the other roads. But, you know, I just went 10 miles an hour the whole way. It was about 3 or 4 miles. And very slow, but that's okay. There were no other vehicles on the road. And I got this nice spot, as you can see. It's right on the road, but I've noticed when vehicles are going by, the dust does kick up, but it hasn't been blowing over here. So hopefully it'll stay that way. Yeah, it's big, huge spot. Big, beautiful spot. Lots of shade. And what I needed to make sure is that I had this spot right here with the opening in the trees, so I can get some sun during the day. So hopefully I'll be able to just leave the van here in the open area and get sun all day. I've been having a problem with the new freezer I bought. You might have seen in the other video, I finally got a freezer. And when I plug the freezer into the power stations, unlike the refrigerator, which runs off and on, you know, whenever it needs to cool down, which isn't very much, because I've got it set at 41. The freezer, because I've got it set at -4, runs nonstop. At least it seems to run nonstop. I don't know what it does when I'm asleep and it's colder at night, but during the day it's running nonstop. And it's pulling so much battery power that I cannot keep my power stations charged up. Even being in the sun all day, it's just not enough. So sometimes the freezer or refrigerator will shut off at night, and that's not going to be good in the long run. So I think my only solution here is to get another solar panel. I think one more solar panel. I have 2 175 watt panels up there now. And I think one more of those, if I can get another 170 watts, that will probably take care of it. Okay, so the van's okay, I'm okay, and I've got a beautiful spot here. And I think I'm just going to relax after all that running around and settle in and spend a couple days here just chilling. Oh, and the weather is perfect. It's been like, it was 75 in Flagstaff today, but I'm up maybe, I might be another 1,000 feet higher, so I think I'm about 7,000 or 8,000 feet. I'll have to check that. I have an altimeter app on my phone which will give me that information. And the weather, probably about 70 during the day, and it's supposed to be 48 at night. Just perfect. Okay. Thanks for coming along and listening to my spiel. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Okay, I just started up the van this morning, and there was this really loud whining, and grinding kind of sound. So I didn't want to drive it at all in case it was a belt and it would break or something, but in order to get a tow, I had to get off of the forest road because roadside service only will tow you from a main public road. So I had to drive about 3 miles out on this bumpy dirt road to the main highway, but I made it. Turned the van off, called roadside assistance, and I'm here on the side of the highway just waiting for roadside assistance. And luckily the mechanic I was at yesterday said I can have it towed there and they'll take a look at it. So yeah, this is part of van life. After 5 years, this is my real, actually this is the first time I've ever broken down and had to be towed. So that's not bad. I'm trying to keep a good attitude about it. And I knew it was going to happen one of these days, so I'll keep you posted. Well, I have to say it is quite the beautiful spot to break down. Got a beautiful view of the snow-covered Mount Humphreys there. There's a nice breeze blowing. Just trying to make the best of the waiting. Okay, they're here. What's your name?
Kurt.
Kurt? Yep. Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah.
It's a few couple inches. All right, thanks, Kurt, and good luck in Prescott.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Well, it's about 6 in the evening. I just got done at the mechanic. I'm at another site now, just outside of town, still in the Coconino Forest. The pump that the mechanic installed yesterday broke, or was faulty, I mean. He didn't know it was broken and that it was leaking. And so when I was camped that night, I guess the fluid leaked out, and that's what that grinding noise was. So it was another 4-hour job, same as the day before. And I just had to wait there in the waiting room. I mean, I took a walk around for a while, but it's hard to kill 4 hours. And the mistake I didn't make is I should have brought my computer and everything with me. Then I could have worked on editing and lots of other things while I was waiting in the waiting room. But that's a lesson I learned next time. Pack a backpack, and because the car was up on a lift, the van was up on a lift, I didn't want to make them take it down for that. Took them till about 6 o'clock, and you know, they close at 5, so him and the woman at the front desk stayed, and they even ran out of power steering fluid, so she had to get in her car and go pick some up. Yeah, So thank you, Jill, and thank you, Joe, the mechanic, for staying and accommodating me. And for Richard, he might be the manager or something, who signed me in there. But yeah, great people. It's called 7-Day Auto in Flagstaff. I just got here and the car seems to be fine, and I actually even been starting it up now and then and looking underneath it to make sure this one isn't broken and the fluid leaking. Yes, that was good. He was able to get another pump like right away, and they were all ready for me there when the tow truck got there, even though it was 2 hours after I called them. I meet a lot of nice people on the road. I have to say, I've been to quite a few mechanics, mostly for oil changes and tire rotations in different cities where I've driven through. And I usually go to the small shops, the ones that aren't all pretty, because I figure they're spending their money on decoration and, you know, advertising and stuff. I like to go to the smaller local mechanics and support small businesses, you know. And they always seem to be great people. You know, even though I'm a traveler, you would think, you know, because I'm not going to be a return customer, that they might, you know, take you for a ride or something, but hasn't been my experience. It's actually been pretty good. So I'm going to settle in here for the evening, and I'm tired of sitting around and waiting for 2 days and doing nothing. Although I did go to the aquatic center and had some exercise there. Okay, everything seems to be good with the van, and I've got a nice campsite here. Very private, haven't been too many people out on that road, and no other campers around. So I'm gonna stay here for a couple days and relax now that I feel a little better that the van's doing good. So that'll do it for this episode. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.